He said, you know, whiskey's for drinking.
Fire it up.
It's better than nothing.
Johnny Andrews is a third-generation farmer in California's Central Valley.
My grandpa came out of Texas, and he told me years ago, he said, you know, whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. See how it's changing colors?
Andrews is one of thousands of farmers in the state struggling to keep their crops green during a record drought.
And it's lifting the water.
He is turning to what he calls a last resort, drilling for groundwater.
You're looking at $200,000 to drill a well. You're looking at the pumping cost every month of about between $2,500 and $3,500 per well.
Farmers like Andrews use about 80% of the state's developed water, growing everything from tomatoes to almonds. With the drought in its fourth year, farmers are drilling deeper and deeper, running pumps day and night.
These are just running all the time and burning diesel.
Yeah, they're running all the time. They're burning 4 gallons an hour.
All that pumping has consequences. As the groundwater gets drawn up, the land sinks down. Scientists call it subsidence. These fields in California's Central Valley have been sinking by more than 1 foot per year. That means that about 5 years ago, these fields would have been above my head. No one knows exactly how much water is being pumped, but hydrologist Michelle Sneed is alarmed by how quickly the ground is sinking.
I've been studying land subsidence throughout the West for 20 years, and I've never measured rates like this before.
Over the past 2 decades, the ground in one area has sunk from Sneed's head to her feet. According to NASA, some parts of the Central Valley are now sinking more than 2 inches a month.
We saw that the area being affected by subsidence was enormous, stretching all the way from I-5 to 99. About 1,200 square miles were being affected by subsidence.
That's an area the size of Rhode Island, and it is sunk permanently.
How do you stop those areas from sinking?
Well, the scientific solution is really easy. You stop lowering groundwater levels. Putting that into practice is a whole nother ball of wax.
Farmers would have to cut back on drilling for water.
The center of it is down south of here. But
Sneed's colleague, Claudia Font, took me to see some of the damages subsidence has already caused.
I mean, what do we got going on here? And I mean, it's really buckling.
Yeah, and a few years ago when I was here, it wasn't nearly this bent, so it's showing evidence of continuing to warp even more.
These canals deliver water to farms and cities throughout Southern California, including Los Angeles.
And this isn't the only one I see. I mean, I see it here, I see it right down there, and I see a third one.
Yeah, and there's another one up that direction as well.
So this can be happening to the bridges, to the roadways, to the railroads.
Correct. In fact, there's a bridge right down the road from here that the water level is now coming up over the base of the road because that area has sunk.
When I went to see the bridge, the flood risk was clear.
The water level has risen up so high now that it would go right over the surface of the road if they hadn't built these retaining walls to keep it back.
Problems like these are already costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. And subsidence is also damaging a vital part of California's flood control system.
Yeah, so the levees through here are about 5 to 6 feet lower than they were historically. This is a
Chris White runs the Central California Irrigation District. He says subsidence is weakening levees.
This area, we've always had flood challenges through here. But with this subsidence that's occurred, it's going to be even more challenging to deal with floods in the future. To the west of it,
forecasters are predicting a record El Nino this winter. The wet weather pattern could bring heavy rains to this region.
Red on this map is bad.
White showed me areas most at risk of flooding.
There's a school, there's an elementary school there. Highway 152 crosses right through the area. There is significant farmland assets. I'm praying for rain, regardless, but it's a high-risk situation from a flood control standpoint.
Nearly half the nation's fruits, vegetables, and nuts are produced in California. To find out what the state is doing to protect its vital farmland, I met with Janine Jones of the Governor's Drought Task Force.
Subsidence is not regulated historically under California law. No one is responsible for it.
The state doesn't even know how big the subsidence problem is.
We're not even monitoring all of the subsidence?
There has not been funding or programs because there has been no statutory responsibility or requirement to do so.
Last year, California lawmakers passed legislation to manage groundwater, but it won't require regulators to limit pumping for another 25 years. Until then, the sinking will likely continue. The independent nonprofit California Water Foundation has estimated that damage due to subsidence across the state could cost taxpayers billions of dollars to fix.
Do you think $1 billion is a high estimate for what the total costs will be, or a low estimate?
I really don't have anything to judge it by, I just don't have the data.
For some farmers, drilling for water has provided a lifeline during the drought. But the long-term consequences of that drilling are becoming clearer.
If we do have a wet year,
As large swaths of the state continue to sink, the risk of flooding increases. And people like Johnny Andrews, whose farms have survived 4 dry years, are now worried they could be wiped out by the rain the state desperately needs.
We're talking about the state and feeding the people in the state. If that flood is bad enough, it'll wipe out the next year's farming, or a lot of it.
It doesn't look like your typical zero-turn mower, because nothing about this mower is typical. You're looking at a zero-turn revolution, the all-new Ultima series from Cub Cadet. This cutting-edge yard sculpting machine is built on a continuous, fully welded 2x2-inch square tubular steel frame, a foundation designed to maximize strength and rigidity without wasting an ounce, all while redefining zero-turn comfort. Fully adjustable, premium cut and sewn 18-inch high back seat. Advanced, durable polymer seat isolators for a smoother, quieter ride. Easy adjust lap bars. Industry exclusive overmolded hand grips and rubber floor mat to dampen vibration. This is a fully optimized command center of comfort, giving you the confidence to mow at your maximum speed. And the control to dial in your perfect cut with 15 quarter-inch deck height increments. An offset front axle for greater trim capabilities, and industry-leading deck options like our exclusive AeroForce cutting decks. All precisely tuned to create finer clippings, less clumping, decreased stragglers, and increased evenness. Independently tested and proven to deliver a best-in-class cut, not to mention a best-in-class warranty to deliver the ultimate peace of mind. So you can take pride in moments like this, and this. The Ultima series. Step up to the ultimate all-around mowing experience.
You need water to survive. I mean, that is like the most imperative source of life.
We have residents in California who are living in third world conditions.
What's it like having to ration out the water for your kids?
It's really hard.
Water's the new oil.
They were pumping water 24 hours a day, and now they're going out to the nearest town to go grab more water.
It's gonna go down in my lifetime.
What is?
Like water wars, you know, big water wars.
The Owens Valley, 3 hours north of Los Angeles. It's an ancient place where precious history is being disturbed.
The vegetation all died, and the sand started blowing away. So what's left here is a big depression.
Kathy Bancroft is Native American, a descendant of the Paiute and Shoshone tribes. For generations, her ancestors have been buried right here. It's a secret and sacred place.
Do you know how old the burials are?
We've got them, some that are thousands of years old, and then we've got some that are, within a generation or so of us.
But decades of water mismanagement and severe drought have caused the unthinkable, uncovering the dead.
Whole burials are becoming uncovered.
So these would have been 6 feet underground at one stage.
Yeah.
And you've lost all of that because it's turned to dust and blown away.
Yep.
And with that comes the worst kind of souvenir collectors, grave robbers, stealing a people's history.
Imagine your grandmother being buried and somebody coming and digging up her burial. But you've also got the artifacts. We believe that those artifacts still belong to that person that left it sitting there. And so that's something that we've never bothered. But you have people that come, oh, I found this, and they think they need to take it for some reason. Our stories, our creation stories, are built on these mountains and places around here. And that's what I always beg and plead. It's like, how do I teach those stories and our history and our culture to my grandkids if you've destroyed them all?
This whole area was once a huge lake, complete with crisscrossing steamboats, and it's here that California's water wars began. 100 years ago, in a massive engineering feat, the valley's underground river was diverted to the thirsty new city of Los Angeles via a 300-kilometer aqueduct. Owens Valley made LA rich, and the lake turned to gray dust, drawing battle lines between the haves and the have-nots.
When it comes to water, a lot of people call us a colony of LA because the city of LA owns a big portion of the land here in the Owens Valley. And it's really interesting because they own it, but we have nothing to say about it. And they just do whatever they like with our water and the land.
Owens Dry Lake became the biggest source of dust pollution in the entire United States. And now Los Angeles has to pay to control the dust. So far, they've spent more than $1.5 billion on things like water sprinklers.
And has it made a difference?
Yeah, it's made a big difference. This valley was pretty bad sometimes, and you couldn't see anything because the dust was so bad. And we kind of all grew up with that, and we've got a lot of breathing problems and stuff. They've been working on it, and we have seen a really drop in the dust problem.
Over 80 billion liters of water a year used to control dust. On the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains, the historic 5-year drought brought third world conditions to the farming community of East Porterville. Here, they rely on wells, and even though California had a deluge of rain earlier this year, backyard wells remain mostly dry. So locals have come up with a range of clever tactics to combat the water crisis. For Angelica and for her family, water is so precious they won't waste a drop.
Tell us about your dishwashing routine here then.
Okay, this little thing. This is to cover my sink. And when I'm washing my dishes, it's gonna get a little bit of full. When it gets full, I recycle my water. Then I do my floor, and then after done mopping my floor, I give it out to my plants. So I'm doing 3 recyclings right there.
What do the plants think of the dishwasher?
Oh, they are happy.
Angelica and her family have been surviving without a well for over 4 years.
tell me about when it went dry. Would you remember the day your well went dry?
Yeah, I remember the day that went dry. It was on one of those hot days, and we just woke up one morning, and there was completely like sand coming, through the faucets, and really dark water, brownish water, muddy water.
The community lives off bottled water and tank deliveries from water trucks. Almost 100 years old, Vicky never thought it was possible for her hometown to run out of water.
I lived here 66 years, and I was born 1920, and I'm 96.
You were saying that this is the most difficult time you've had living here because of the water.
I have to say yes.
Could you describe what the garden used to look like? Take us around the different trees that you used to have.
Well, right here, I had 2 plums, one there, and then nectarines, and then 2 nectarines, and then apricot. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Vicky's backyard orchard was her pride and joy for more than 60 years. Now it's gone.
Now I just go out there, and a lot of times I get to crying. I'm a crybaby. Well, you'd cry too if you'd have flowers like I did.
East Porterville sits in the middle of the biggest agriculture-producing county in the United States. Whilst the corporate-owned farms in the area have the funds to dig deep wells, local residents like Angelica are rationing bottled water.
My kids don't drink a whole bottle like this. So instead of giving this big bottle to them, I give them a small one because I know they're going to drink this one.
So what's it like having to ration out the water for your kids?
They get mad at me, they get mad, they get frustrated, because my daughter said, Mom, why can't we have a normal life, Why it's this so complicated?
All right, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News. Stream looks like it's running a little slow. Go figure. Anyway, hopefully it will catch up. Always at 9 o'clock, and right at 9:30 the signal drops. I don't know why. Can't seem to get it straightened out. But anyway, guys, we got a lot of news to cover, a lot of devastating weather warfare going on. We got map glitches in the Matrix, and just crazy stuff that we're going to be getting into. Now I'm just kind of letting the stream try to get caught up before I jump into any other scenes. Hey, thanks out there, Michelle. Much love out there. So hopefully the stream will catch up here in a minute. Do not want the audio and visual all messed up. So I'm trying to Just let this load. Anyway, looking pretty blurry out there on the stream. You know, they're hitting us hard all the time, man. They're trying to slow us down, shadow banning us, hiding us, taking away thumbs up, taking away likes. And hopefully you guys can see this map. You can see all these tornadoes popping off all over the place. And we got some information why this is going on. We expose it nightly about the real issues with the weather. And just like every night, we're going to show you some things. We got, you know, tornadoes up here in New York, Pennsylvania. There were some in West Virginia. We can see the military radars over there in Mexico and Southern California are shooting out all kinds of microwave energy. And the weather's not natural, not whatsoever. This weather is not coming from Mother Nature, let me tell you. And we're going to expose it just like we do every night. All right, the stream is up. So let me go ahead. Oh, I should have paused that because we need to get back to that in a minute here. Let me go ahead and pause that. So we had these dams, man. They let these barges hit the dam. And that's why I use that little thumbnail in the beginning about the $50 bill and how it looks like the Hoover Dam is busting. You're going to tell me that they didn't have any kind of tugboats or nothing up here to hook a hold of these things. I didn't want the sound on there. To hook a hold of these and stop them. That's just not even possible. And when you really pan out on this, you can see the water's about to go over the dam anyway. I mean, it's way past the flood, you know, it's up to the flood gates. There's a couple different angles we got here. And I don't know why the audio's going on here. But, man, this was, to me, I mean, I think this was intentional. Just because I see all the other intentional things that they do. And there's something I'm gonna go ahead and get out of them just to get that closed down there. Now, this is what the sky looked like at roughly about 5:45, quarter till 6. You can see the frequency lines. That's not Planet X up there. That's a lens flare. You can see them dispersing all kinds of chemicals up in the sky. And if you look here, all these trees are almost completely underwater today. You just barely see the trees coming out. This is on Truman Lake in Missouri. Now I'm going to jump over to just a few clips I took of the dam here at Truman Lake. I mean, it's full, man. There's nowhere for these waters to go. See if I can get it on the right scene. It's got a little clip of just one of many clips I took in the shelter. Yeah, it's pretty freaky looking, isn't it? Look out that way. That's where the hell is, over that way.
Which way's that?
That's south. There goes the end of the thunderstorm cloud right there. Yeah. You should be in the clear here in about 5 minutes.
Are you looking for a quality roof installer to replace a failing or badly damaged roof? Stop stressing. We'll get your new roof replaced or repaired in no time. Our latest offer on a new roof installation or roof repair will ease your worry right now. Contact us right now to get in on this limited time offer. Financing may be available to those who qualify. Take advantage of this limited time offer. Click or call us now to get started.
Boxy Girls! If It's an unboxing sensation in every nation.
There's no stopping the unboxing. Fashion Studios Minis Pets. Unbox with Boxy. Look who's new to unbox with you. Unbox with Boxy.
Check out 7, hanging out in her studio suite. It's a selfie day for Ariana and Coco on the runway. Or go shopping with Willow and Apple and their Boxy pets. There's so much more to unbox and do when Harper and Piper unbox with you. And you'll want to get the skinny on the Boxy Girl Minis. Or let in the sun with some Pika-Box fun.
There's no stopping the unboxing. Boxy Girls.
I don't know why this sound's cutting out, man. Do you? What's it saying? Them clouds are hollow butt over that way. All right, I don't know why the sound was cutting out, but what you're looking at there in the top right, that ended up having a tornado in it dropping down just right around Warsaw. I don't think it did any damage. So it was that close right there. And then to the north of us was the other tornado coming right at us. But we prayed that they went around us, and that's exactly what happened. Up in the top left, that's Truman Dam. I drove over it. It's full, man. I mean, it's up there. There's not much more it can go, but guess what? They're not letting anything out of the dam. The waters are completely calm. They're not letting one drop of water out of this dam. I'm trying to get that one to get bigger here. See if I can get that off there. And they're closed, completely closed. And that's full. That water is never up that high. And there's no water coming out and the water's up that high. It's almost like the lake is running backwards. You know, this is a river that should be flowing down. It's not flowing whatsoever. There's nowhere for it to go, and they're calling for more and more rain. So let me see if I can get this scene back over. And one thing I wanted to talk about was the crazy sounds. I got to hang on, the mic is freaking out, looks like. At least this time I muted it before I tapped the mic so I didn't blow your guys' eardrums out. Finally in Australia, they finally today come out letting the people know down there what's going on up here with all the tornadoes. You know, they're hiding all this information, like there's no information coming out about the mega fires up in Canada. You know, they're not talking about these houses getting flooded completely out. I mean, they're getting washed away. There's tons of video footage out here from Oklahoma, and there's no end in sight, man. It's because of the atmospheric river steering. We're going to get into it. Check this out. Here's just some of the tornadoes. Right now, there's been 780 preliminary reports, and this is just up to when's the date on this? From the 3rd, or I know it's not till up to today, or even this week. I can't find the date now. Anyway, they're saying there's been 500 and where is that? 585 tornadoes. It's going to be well up above 800 after today. But I just wanted to put them stats out there. And while we're right here, let's just go ahead and check what tornadoes are going right now. So there's one coming out of Norman, Oklahoma. We'll see where this one is hitting right now. I clicked the wrong thing. It should have popped me up to the maybe it's this one here. No, that's not it. It's coming out of Norman, Oklahoma. All right, so this one here, tornado warning for northern Harper County and northwestern Oklahoma until 10:15. Golf ball size hail radar indicated. All right, we'll get out of that. Let's go ahead and hit some of the reasons why this stuff is going on. This is something you'll never hear on the mainstream media. There's a mission that was launched called Make It Rain. The United States-based satellite launch company will put payloads from several organizations into space on a mission procured by satellite mission management. This will include communication satellite used by the U.S. Special Forces. The mission is Rocket Lab's 7th Electron launch, the company's third for 2019. The mission is named Make It Rain. Can you know where I'm coming here? Pretty crazy stuff. And if that's not bad enough, you got the Stanford scientists at it again. They created a sound so loud it instantly boils the water. So this is an accelerator laboratory based at the Stanford University. They created an underwater sound so loud that it instantly vaporized water and appears to set the threshold for how intense sound can be in water. You know, I was talking about today in a little stream I did about the sound that we're hearing before and during these storms. It sounds like a train coming in, and it's not the wind. So this kind of technology, you know, what they used for this, they used a powerful X-ray laser to blast tiny jets of water with short pulses of high-frequency energy. High frequency, you know, like the ionospheric heaters. When the X-rays hit the microscopic steam of the water, they instantly vaporize the water molecules around them like spit on a hot skillet. They also sent a shock wave traveling through the stream that can actually be seen moving to the left and the right of the blast spot below. So, you know, we hear these sounds. We know what they're doing with the ionospheric heaters. This is just a smaller scale. But when I seen this, and then we try to connect the dots here, and then you hear this crazy new rumble that comes with the storms, the growls in the sky that are not natural whatsoever. This is pretty interesting stuff. I got all these links in the description. And hey, don't worry, Stanford's got more. They're going to try attacking the global warming by adding CO2 to the atmosphere. These guys are nutbags, man. They are mad scientists. They need to be stopped. So while it's true the CO2 is the main greenhouse gas for driving climate change, you mean climate control, methane gas is 84 times more potent in the terms of global warming over the first 20 years it's released. So, you know, it's we're dealing with some psychotic madmen out here. You know, another crazy thing that's going on is we're getting all these plane crashes again. Military plane crashes in North Carolina, pilot ejects safely. This came up a couple days ago. And then 5 tourists, including Americans, killed when a plane crashed into the sea after takeoff in Honduras. But that's not the only one. We've had 2 killed in second sightseeing plane crash in Alaska in a week. What's in Alaska? The Hart facility. You know, everything is made of frequencies. And when you're affecting these frequencies, it's affecting our bodies, it's affecting the weather, it's affecting the wind, it's affecting the air. It's affecting everything. It's all connected. Which brings us to storms like we're getting now. You know, and we show every night almost the companies that can steer the atmospheric rivers, which I don't have the mimic map up now. And we watch how these storms, you know, they're coming up with all these new names and and all the different cloud formation. I mean, look at this. What is going on here? You know, when we go look at the temperature map, it's freaking still wintertime in the desert. It's smoking hot down in Florida. And I told you guys like a week or maybe 2 weeks ago, you guys were going to get hammered with heat. And there it is. You guys are getting it right now. Depending. So these storms keep firing up in the exact same spots. The same technology they use to put the fires out and down in Tasmania is the same technology that's being used right here to steer this atmospheric river. Look, it's coming from one central point. And when we zoom in on there, there's military bases right there. Look at that. It's got a line like a beam line shooting up to it. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hey, thanks out there, everybody in the super chat. Much love. Definitely help keeps us going. I see a huge spraying operation already up there off the coast of Oregon and Washington again. You know, they're setting these storms up the same way. Look at that line right there, a very straight, like, pin line. In fact, let me see if I can zoom in on that. That's why we got this here. And I want to zoom in right. Let me see where that was exactly. Yeah, that's not natural right there. Let's see if I can get that thing. Try that one. But yeah, the video we did a couple nights ago, where that would be a good video for new people if you can get them to spend 1 hour to watch that show. The one I think, I can't remember what I titled it, something like they'd never seen anything like it or something like that. That video pretty much shows quite a few of the companies, and it shows pretty much everything you need to know that the weather's being modified and affected. Look at the chemtrails right there. Why is the color so freaked out? Why is it not in the... Something's wrong with the colors right here. It's not going into the... Maybe I'm too close. Maybe they don't want us to see it. So let's... Yeah, we want to look right there, right where that line is. Maybe this one will get us there. I want to get this zoomed in so we can document this. That might be it right there, that line. Oh yeah, this one should pick it up. So let me go ahead and bring this back. So this was at night. That's why it's not showing up in the color, probably. All right, we're going to give that a second to load. Anyway, much love out there. If you guys are in the path of these storms, listen for the sound in the sky. It's not normal. It's mechanical. It's a growl. It's like a demon sound. So we'll see if this thing shows up. So you got the heating of the sun there. And we're just got to wait on this to load. It's taking forever. And maybe it won't load. Alright, I'm trying to get this to go. Yeah, we're at the mercy of the satellite out here. Yeah, that thing is taking forever. Probably because I have it on 200 frames, but yeah, we need the very end of it to load. That's going to turn into a super straight line that shoots straight down. We can see geoengineering going on right there, right here. Definitely cloud seeding. Let's go ahead while that's loading. Let's go ahead and check the this right now, just to see if we have any new tornadoes popping off. So these are all the watches and warnings right now. We actually don't have any winter weather right now. Amazing. Hey, thanks there, Rhonda. Happy birthday there, Rhonda. Our new mod's birthday is today. Happy birthday out there. And no, I can't sing. I can play some drums, but I can't sing. All right, we're just letting this go. Look at this line. See that light blue line? All these radars are connected. You're going to see a line form, and that's not rain. That's the electromagnetic energy connecting from one point going up. When you put all these together, they're powerful. Look at that. There's a beam going straight up into that. Then you get the map glitch. So it looks like, yeah, we still got tornadoes going off here. Let me get this right on the end. I mean, this is just unreal. These tornadoes. Look up there in the northeast. We called this too. We called this a couple days ago, and there they are. They're right on time, right on the weather plan, man. So right now we have 3 tornadoes warnings going off right there on the Oklahoma and Kansas border, right where they don't need any more rain, man. This is going to be the historical event. Let me just check this real quick. Yep, we got tornadoes in Norman, Oklahoma again. And here's the most recent one, just a couple minutes ago. We'll see where this one's coming out of. I keep hitting the wrong thing. I gotta hit this part. Dodge City, Kansas radar. All right, so we have a tornado warning for western Comanche County and south central Kansas, southeastern Clark County, and southwestern Kansas. Looking at tornado and quarter size hell. So seek shelter if you're in the path of these. I mean, these people really have nowhere to go. They don't have any land left. It's turning into an ocean. I filmed the ocean up there on the I-29 there in Rockport, Missouri. You know, like a month ago. It looked like an ocean. Iowa looks like an ocean. In fact, where's that Navy map? Let's see, let me type this in. Navy flood map, I think is what it is. We'll just click any of them. So they're starting to look pretty damn close. You know, this was made, you know, in case sea rise, but you don't need sea rise when you're flooding the Mississippi and the Missouri rivers out. When you're taking out all the dams, this map would actually be worse if all these dams break, which it looked like to me that they might have purposely rammed them barges into the dams. There's no other explanation. There would be a tugboat around there. You know, the mainstream said something like, you know, they had them tied off. I mean, what'd they use? Shoestrings to tie them things off? I mean, it's, you know, that was probably a false flag that didn't work. That's why I hope sometimes we can stop some of these things, even if it makes us look wrong. If we stop the false flag from happening, then that's a plus. I'll take being wrong any day over that kind of stuff. All right, we'll look at the worldview in a minute. Let me go ahead and bring up some maps and stuff. You know, there was tons of fertilizer. You can make bombs out of fertilizer. Here's what I was talking about. It's on the map now. It wasn't on the map when I seen this, when I was looking at a long range. So they're not showing that going anywhere yet. And that's all because of a high pressure parked That's why Florida's so hot, because there's a high pressure park there. Let's check the mimic. You know, I haven't got to look at any of these maps because of the storms. So many storms. Yeah, they could have called helicopters in. They could have done a lot of things. Look, they're affecting the atmospheric river. See, it's trying to go up in the Aleutian Island chain where it used to always go. Look, it's still trying to get up over there. And then you have a straight line for miles and miles where they're pushing that. You don't get straight lines, especially in the water vapor. This is the mimic map. This is the morph microwave imagery. This is the rivers of the sky. They call this the blue gold. This is what these companies are hijacking. This is what they are steering this atmospheric river. This is completely insane over the United States. It has never done that before. This is never, well, I can't say that because back in 2012 when they steered the atmospheric river away from California into Texas, they flooded them out. But now it looks like they're using two different places to, they're steering it in several places actually right now, because you got the company, the weather generator company over in the United Arab Emirates. They are performing a 30-day steering of the atmospheric river over there. Then you got David Miles down in Australia doing whatever he's doing. So let me zoom in on North America here. Oh man, that's horrible. Yeah, man, don't be trying to swim in this stuff. That is nuts, man. So look at that. That's not natural right there. That's being forced back. See, they're going to push it on down. You know, before they parked the high pressure here, now we have a high pressure over here. I mean, there's a lot of things going on that I'm seeing in this that are not right. So anyway, I'm just trying to get this documented. That atmospheric river has never, ever been that far. In fact, can we get to the... you know what? I need to try to bring up the mimic one, and we'll go back to the archives, and I'll just pull one up. And I guarantee it won't look like this. And this map hasn't worked since Friday, May 24th. Oh wow, is it working again? So that would be general time. Yeah, so maybe this one is back working. Let's let this one load for a second, then I'll go to the archives. This thing got blasted out. Oh no, it's still stuck on February 2nd, 2017. This is when they were steering this cyclone over into Australia. All right, let's go check the archive. If they let us get in there, we'll try it. Let me go ahead and pause this one while we're looking here. I'm trying to keep as less tabs down as I can. And it may not let me go back to it, man. Let's try that one. Stream's running good, but they may have took off the archives here. Try to open it in a new link just to see if that'll work. And I might as well go ahead and get the forecast models up. So we'll try to multitask here a little bit. And I shut down the dual pole radar. I don't know why they don't have it where I can click on that part right now. All right, let's go ahead and just get that loaded. All right, here we go. Let's go to, man, they're only giving us, wow, they're only giving us up to 2014. They've deleted a bunch of it. We just click the latest one here. That took forever to load. So it looks like they took out a bunch of years. .2012 is when David Miles or Cy Blue stole California's rain. Wow, that thing is just not wanting to load. Let me try 2010. Sorry this is taking so long, man. That's weird. And the stream's looking good, so it's not really the internet right this time. All right, guys, so let's go forward on this while we're waiting on that crap to load. So we're going to go up 6 hours at a time. This is for Friday. And then we're going to go on up Friday in the evening, tornadoes going up. May have tornadoes on both sides again. Severe weather for it's going to go through Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, probably clip it. More tornadoes for the very same places every time. Major tornadoes on Saturday. Look at this. This is on Saturday. We're going to have tornadoes in, 4 or 5 states again. Super heavy rain. Like I said, Kansas City was the target on the 16-day forecast 2 weeks ago for the flooding. And it looks like they still may be the target as far as the flooding. In fact, let's just look at that real quick. And I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. Oh man, look, they set up some more new targets there, the border, right where the rain's hitting right now. So let's just take this on up. Hey, thanks there to Discover. Here, I'm just gonna blast it all the way up. Yeah, it's crazy, man. The coldest spots on the planet are in the desert right now. Oh, wow. Look at that. So the target's shifted a little bit south, but look, it's still all over Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. Feet of rain. We're looking at feet. Here, let's see if we can play this through. I'm going to click play and just watch it animate here. So we can see here over the next day or two, right there's the target. There's going to be nowhere for this water to go. It's going to flood all the way down to the ocean. Same thing, California, you're still getting hit. Tomorrow night we'll check the dam levels. I want to check the dam levels throughout the whole country. Look how fast that popped up there. So it looked like that thing really popped up. Like it explodes on June 6th. The amount of moisture explodes on June 6th. We're almost looking at 2 feet of snow in just a short time. So from June 5th into June 6th, it's showing 2 feet of rain in 24 hours, 48 hours, right in there. That's mega. That's biblical right there. So it's not looking good. No plants are going to be able to be planted this year at all. When you really track this out, that is insane. See, they're pulling that atmospheric river right on up through the Gulf of Mexico. They're also steering it over from the west, bringing that cooler air down to mix in with the warmer air. This is all engineered. Let me just check the Let me check these pressures real quick. There's that high pressure I was talking about that's parked down here over Florida. Florida's burning up. They need rain, but they're stealing it all. You know, here there'll be an article out here where you know, it'd be like the Cy Blue when they stole California's rain. Well, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas is stealing Florida's rain. It's trying to get this damn thing to load. In fact, what we really need is a bigger picture of this. So let me try to get the whole thing on here if I can. Where is it? Wow, we can pretty much do the whole world. Let's try that. Oh wow, that's kind of confusing to look at. That's too much. Much too much right there. Yeah, I want the north and the west. Where is it, man? Am I blind right now? I'm not seeing it. I guess we can try this one. It's not quite the one I wanted, but we'll give it a shot here. Because this is going to be a factor on them hurricanes. You know, we're only a couple of weeks out from the start of hurricane season, so we still got that high pressure. We got the, you know, possible development of something down there, but was let me go through this, and of course we got to wait on it to load. Yep, this never did load. Oh, there it is. It finally loaded. All right, what's the dates on these? 2000. We get down to the bottom. Maybe that'll all right, let's just click one. 8, 18, 13. Let's get into the month we're in now, if I can here. So we'd rather be out of like the 5th month. Wow, it's like we can't even get to the 5th month. That's crazy. All right, let me just click one. Yeah, I didn't look up to see if there's any asteroids coming this weekend. I know one come by just the other day. We can check that here. Look at that high pressure just parked. That thing is not going anywhere. Still there. So we're not going to have to worry about that storm coming up over Mexico, because that high pressure isn't moving for quite a while. So it really looks like our patterns are going to stay the same. They're just going to keep on looping these same low pressures back and forth. That's crazy. All right. It's not going to load. Let's go ahead and get out of that. We need to get something going here. All right, let me get this on the thing where we can get the actual warnings and stuff. We'll just got to check this once in a while, just see, get people aware of what's happening. So another tornado, Pennsylvania. All right, so coming out. Tornado warning for east central Lancaster County and south central Pennsylvania until 11:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Hazard tornado. So they're not even calling for hell with this one. And what was the other one? New Jersey or New York. What was that? Okay. Whoa, what happened here? What's this thing popping up? All right, hold on. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow, it popped up on there, but it's not giving us the right coast. But we can see the water vapor, though. All right, hold on, let me get back. Okay, here we go. All right, tornado warning for central Chester County and southeastern Pennsylvania until 11:30. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Churchtown or near New Holland, moving at 40 miles an hour. So these storms they're cooking through, man. They're moving pretty damn fast. I think we're done with that one. And let's get this one. All right, let's go ahead and see where we're at on this. This should be refreshed. Nice crowd out there, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for bearing with me. Everything's kind of loading slow for me, so just got to kind of hang out here. Grab you a cup of coffee. All right, look at these things just firing up in the exact. Look at the trails. They're aerosol in the sky right there in New Mexico. They're already conjuring up the storms for Friday. They're seeding out ahead to help pull this cooler air down. Look, they're just spinning that pressure there. It's not moving. It's staying stationary. Then when they need it, they'll bring it on down to mix right here. Here they come up from the south. Look at this tornado, crazy. Oh, that reminds me. I want to thank Scott out there. He sent me an email. I'm going to read you guys what he sent me. Because this, the meteorologists, some of them are starting to really freak out on what's going on. And, oh man, now the dogs are going to bark. Hold on, let me mute out. All right, they're probably going to go outside and bark. All right, so he put, I was watching coverage of a local Oklahoma station the other day as tornadoes were just dropping out of the sky like rain. There was one meteorologist in particular who was extremely aggravated. And this is what he said on air. I have never seen anything like this anywhere before. The whole sky is spinning out of control. The cloud deck is so low. Remember me talking about that all the time, how the clouds are too low? It's like we're getting atmospheric compression pushing the clouds down. But anyway, let's go on. The sky is so milky white. That's a reference to the chemtrails. You cannot see the tornadoes until they are on top of you. And then he put, he's thinking the gag order is choking these guys out. And he thinks the same thing, the milky white sky, that's the chemtrail term. So the meteorologists, you know, they're trying to cover this stuff up. But they're getting to where they almost can't cover it up. It's getting that bad out here. So let me go ahead and take them off just so we can see the aerosols going here. And we'll check a couple of them. And we'll zoom in on some of the heavier aerosols being deployed. I mean, they got the sky loaded. You remember the ship tracks and all the bunker fuel that they were deploying? That's all playing in effect right now. All right, seen a couple spots I want to take a quick look at. And I want to be kind of in the sub-regional or regional. Yeah, we'll try regional. So let's go up here where they're cooking up the sky. We're going to check a couple areas here. You know, we got the fires going on. I mean, look at this. There's a low pressure here, and you can see all the aerosols, and they're also spraying up here in Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Canada, up where the fires are. We'll look at that one too. We'll put that on the microphysics. But man, these are, look at this spray job right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, that's so blatant. Where's them planes flying? They're flying in nowhere. They're doing X's. You got dual planes right there. You know, there was an article too I was going to bring up the other day, maybe about a week ago, about how they want to rot human bodies and make fertilizer out of them. Tell me that isn't some crazy stuff. Look at the size of that X. Hold on. Look at this. It looks like a whale with wings. That's a really short, stubby X trying to go right in the center of that low pressure, so that must mean something. You got one turning off and on, segmented sprays. Look how fast they drift into a cloud. Yeah, so this is like undeniable weather modification right here. You know, all the disinformation people can call this stuff water vapor and contrails and all that BS. We know different. Look at this. These are turning into a weather system. I mean, you got a spider web of chemtrails up here. That's what they are. They are chemtrails. That's some crazy stuff there. Let's go up north. Let's check out the fires. See what's going on up here. May have to put it on the microphysics. Nobody's talking about the floods. Nobody's talking about the dams, like far as the mainstream, and just how bad this is going to be. Like, people need to start preparing for the food shortages now. You know, and this is worldwide. This is global. This is to bring in the new world order. They want the feast, the famine. They problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, then they're going to offer up a solution. Man, they really sprayed it really hard right in that area. Once this starts going back into the second day. Of course, you got the nighttime sprays. This stuff is really taking a look. Look how heavy they're spraying over the fires. They're up above the clouds. They're like going with the clouds. They're hiding what they're doing. That's absolutely the thickest trails I think I've ever seen above the clouds. I mean, them are standing out. They were done at night. I noticed up here in Alberta and stuff, they're spraying at night. They don't want the people to see this stuff going down. That's crazy right there. Let me see how that comes out on the microphysics. So I'm sure this will take a second to load here. See, you'll see in the dark blues the chemtrails. Look, they got the black X's going over the fires. X marks the spot. All right, let's get that to load. Let me go ahead and check the watches and warnings right now. See if it refreshed. Still showing the one for Pennsylvania until 11:02. Let's see what it reloads to. Still showing the one for Pennsylvania until 11:02. Let's see what it reloads to. All right, while that's going, man, you know, a lot of people don't believe that they're cloud seeding. Check out this little short clip from Australia.
Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain. Hydro Tasmania has confirmed it flew a cloud seeding flight despite the weather warnings. Farmers believe the technique could have made the flooding worse. The Premier says a formal inquiry will be held into the effect and handling of the floods if it's necessary.
Sorry, I didn't know I muted up. And some people aren't. Audio gone. Yeah, it looks all good here. All right, now it's all good. All right. I don't know what the hell happened. Okay, we're back. It's a war, man. It is. This is a war. It's a war of information, a war of the truth, the war between good and evil. It's all here. We're in it right now. These are the crazy times that we're in. We're here for a reason, and we got to do our part. All right, I'm just trying to get that to go ahead and load up. We haven't even checked the worldview map, but look, out here in the Pacific, we just seen the heavy aerosols crashing in. And look way out here in the Pacific, heavy aerosols. They're already setting up for the next storm. And then you got the smoke from the fires up here and heavy aerosols. We just seen them spraying above the clouds so the people down here in Alberta can't see them spraying. They're hiding it. They don't want them to know. So you got heavy aerosols everywhere up here. And we know they're spraying up here because this is where they're pulling the storms. So you got the heavy X right there, if that'll load up a little cleaner. Try to get that to load. I didn't get a chance to load these maps. These maps take so long to load. And now it's buffering really bad. Wow. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead. I think I'm going to start pre-recording some of these maps. That way they will at least be looking semi-decent. If I can get a little earlier start, we might be able to do that. So did it change my amount of frames? No, it's still there. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call this a show because this stuff is really laming out on us. Anyway, guys, much love out there. Hopefully everybody makes it safe through these storms. And thanks for getting this stuff shared out. And that's all we can do right now until we get the masses. We need the masses awake. We need to rise up and stop this stuff. Needs to be a worldwide event. Oh, and I think I come up with something that we're going to try. I think we're going to pick a date on some area that always gets sprayed.
Texas is the #2 state for sex trafficking. We exist to prevent, reach, and restore all those who have been affected by sexual abuse, exploitation, or trafficking in the Central Texas area. We're allowing survivors to come in and have a relationship with something they can feel safe with, and then the horses become the bridge of safety that then transfers into humans. It's a mutual relationship with a horse. The horse controls itself. We both have the ability to do that, and how do we communicate that in a way that's best for our relationship? As the individual comes into relationship with the horse, their own stuff starts coming up, right? So what it forces us to do is to figure out what's going on inside of us and figure out how to resolve that conflict inside of us and be real and authentic. We teach them to make requests and respond appropriately, because we would never teach a person to control other people.
They have a choice as well, and so to keep that in mind because of the work that the Wild Hope is doing, that these children, these women, these men, that they didn't have a choice, and so to give that back to them is important.
It takes a wild hope to overcome these things. It takes a tenacious hope on our side and on the survivor's side, and everybody involved to push through the darkness. But it can be done, and it is being done, and there's nobody that's too far out of reach. Nobody.
And we're going to have like a pray off to see if we can pray the chemtrails away from one state on a day, and we'll pick it way out. And then we'll try it, and we'll see what the power of prayer does. Anyway, guys, much love. Let's rise. Let's turn this up, and then we'll play the fighting song.